is in your hands. My life is in your hands. You took control when I was young, when I was not able. My life is in your hands. My life is in your hands. You took control when I was young, when I was not able.
Hello, welcome to my show called Inspired Blessings with G. Marie Prince. And I want to thank you so much for my guest, Dawn Eskew, for being my guest today. And she's the founder and president of Personhood New York and Personhood Education New York. And I just thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you so much
Especially your
for
daughter's
having me.
birthday. Do you want
Yes.
to say happy birthday to her since you missed?
Happy birthday, Risa.
Okay. So tell me about personhood, and what is personhood?
Personhood is the return to first principles. When Roe v. Wade first came into motion, Judge Blackmun told the Roe side, that you would have a very difficult time of passing this law if the unborn baby was defined as a person. And she said, yes, I do know that. So from there, the first strategy was to define the unborn baby as a person. And then soon after that, things changed. Somehow things changed, and they said, no, the strategy should include an exception, and that exception was rape or incest.
They, to abort a baby, Planned Parenthood and other places that does abortion, that they'll just say it's it's just a tissue.
Yes.
But isn't it true that if somebody was convicted of murder and that mother was pregnant and killed the baby inside her womb, would get double murder, correct?
In some states, yes.
So,
Yes.
it's only for them, to fit their situation that they'll call it a tissue versus really a human being.
Yes.
When really in the fact that, they're getting convicted for two murders, the
Yes.
mother and the child.
Yes, that happened in California with Lacey Peterson, I think was the name. I don't know. I
Okay.
can't remember, but
Right.
that did happen in California a few
Right.
years ago.
Right.
Yes. It started nationally first with Personhood USA, and then another national personhood organization has been formed, and we are an affiliate of that organization. It's called Personhood Alliance, and there are about 21 organizations and different states who have become an affiliate of Personhood Alliance.
Okay.
Yes. I've always been pro-life.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the driving force for me to be a founder of Personhood New York is really comes from, I felt I had a calling.
Mm-hmm.
I had a spiritual prayer program, and during that prayer program, it was a rosary group.
Okay.
I felt called to do this. I knew about personhood,
Mm-hmm.
and so I said, okay, I'll give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
And once I took that first step, I've been running.
And
ever
that was since what year?
That really started January 2013. I called Dan Becker
Mm-hmm.
from Georgia Right to Life.
Okay.
Yes, and he had a book, if I can share this
Sure.
book. It's called Personhood, A Pragmatic Guide to the Pro-Life Victory in the 21st Century and Return to First Principles. And this book, he tells about how he started.
Mm-hmm.
He felt that we need to return to first principles and remove the exceptions.
Right. Have you seen any successes in
Yes.
your organization?
Yes, I bought his book, and when I read it, I am a chemist,
Mm-hmm.
and my husband is an analyst, financial analyst, so
Okay.
he looks at numbers. And by reading this book, I saw that there was a little blip in the pro-life movement of success.
Okay.
And when I saw that as a chemist, that's what you look for. If you look for a little blip and you see there's advancement or a success, that says something.
Okay.
So I took that and I said, I'm going to go with it.
Right.
My husband was my biggest skeptic.
Right.
He says, "Oh, come on." But when I showed him the book and the numbers, he says, "Yeah, there is something to this."
Right, right.
So,
Well, you know, I actually wrote a song called "For I Am Not Even Born," and I'll actually play it on this TV interview because I just think it's appropriate. And I wrote it because I was driving along the road and listening to a Christian radio station, and I heard an interview. And they were explaining how partial birth abortion was done, where they drill a hole in the skull, they suck out the brain, and then they crush the skull to pull the baby out. And when I heard that, I was appalled. And so I'm hoping that this song, it's called, you know, "For I'm Not Even Born," and, you know, "Please let me live, don't let me die. If you know God, then do His will." So it's just, you know, amazing words. I'm praying that God will have it go national, because I feel that it was written for such a time as this. Now, is it just yourself with this organization?
No, I do have a board. We have 3 board members with Personhood Education, the minimal requirement to have a non-for-profit organization. And then Personhood New York, we have 5 board members. There are other people who are on board. Well, they support Personhood in New York State. We are all volunteers, no one gets paid. And it's really, you said about God, we are faith-based and Christ-centered, but we do welcome all people of different faiths if they are on board with this personhood movement.
Right.
Of course, we accept them too.
So with the trying to defund Planned Parenthood, I mean, I'm sure the videos, all the things that have been exposed have such a, you know, have helped personhood.
Yes. Years ago, when Planned Parenthood was first moving ahead, they had little pamphlets, and on there they would say, "We will help you with family planning, and abortion is killing the life of a baby." They admit it. And then, as time progressed, there was a lie that was perpetuated, and they would say, "Oh, it's just a bunch of tissues. The unborn baby's just a bunch of tissues." And that somehow got into our society, that thinking, which is we are working at changing that.
Right. But it's not only about trying to stop abortions. It's also about right now you're trying to get petition for assisted suicide.
Yes.
Because it's been approved in California, now they're trying to get it approved in New York.
They're trying. Personhood New York goes from the unborn baby until natural death at the end of life, and everything in between. It also involves with, I'm just going to insert this, I'll get back to assisted suicide, even in vitro fertilization, where they're trying to do research with embryos.
Okay.
So we try to protect that as well.
Sure.
But assisted suicide, yes, New York State has 2 assisted suicide bills that we are fighting. We have a coalition that is formed with different pro-life, I can't say pro-life, but different organizations and people who are against assisted suicide. We most recently have J.J. Hansen, who is president of the Patient Rights Action Fund. He was an aide, political aide, who helped Governor Patterson and Governor Spitzer. And J.J. Hansen at one point was for assisted suicide until he was also a former Marine, until he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, the same brain tumor that Brittany Maynard, as you know, took the path of assisted suicide in Oregon. She was a 27-year-old young bride, new bride, and she took the path of assisted suicide. So J.J. Hansen, at the same time, was diagnosed with this same brain tumor, but he had a change of heart and saw the dangers to assisted suicide. So he is now leading the fight in New York State. And so we have him on board, and we are moving ahead with this.
You know, I'm amazed at so many things in the state of Oregon. They're almost like the first in all these different evil things.
Yes.
I don't know why it's almost like it's a demonic spirits that have taken over that state.
Yeah.
I constantly hear Oregon.
Well,
So,
they
yeah.
are using that as their poster platform. Look at what's going on in Oregon. However, what the other side doesn't show is that once assisted suicide was passed in Oregon, there are copycat suicides where many people think, okay, my life isn't worth it, and so I will commit suicide. I will end it all. So suicide rates have
Right.
have been risen in Oregon, and with that, the financial costs, because they will take their life, but they're not always successful.
Right.
And so there's a lot of insurance rates that go up, a lot of cost from the state that has to come into protecting. So.
And on the one hand, they're saying that it's for people who want to voluntarily commit suicide because of maybe a terminal illness and things like that.
Yes.
But we know how that can be able to be turned around. And the process is done through what, medication?
The process is done by, I'm told, 90 pills. They have to ingest
Overdose.
90
Yeah.
pills of a lethal dose of.
Right. I mean, that's how people basically.
That's how they have to do it.
Committing,
And even that isn't always successful because they're unable to ingest that many pills.
Right, to absorb it. Right. Then now there could be a real side effect
Yes.
to damaging
Yes.
their body.
Yes.
And still being alive.
Yes.
Yeah. But I can see that people could take this, that out of their convenience, maybe somebody's like, have them sign this bill, and now some people I could see being greedy. Life insurance. Yeah, the beneficiary, and
Well,
this is the way to kill them.
Well, there's a number of dangers to this. One, with the life insurance, the physician, they say that the person who wants to do this is a personal choice. It's private, and you don't have a say in telling me what to do. However, it involves many people. It involves the physician. It involves having a friend close by to assist, or a family member. And although they have a right to doing this, I don't know what the legal age is in Oregon, but if it's 18 or 21, an 18 or 21 young adult who decides they can go ahead with this, well, the parents, the poor parents who have to observe this and can't say anything. So that's one thing. The second thing is, so they don't have rights over their child, to help them take a different path to healing.
Sure.
Another danger is that the physician, he is the one who signs the death certificate. And what goes on that death certificate? Natural death.
Right. Aren't these people, like, you would think that they would think to themselves that their conscience would get to them, as well as the fear of God. Thou shalt not kill. So you're allowing somebody that you're thinking like you're doing it lightly, but you know what? You're actually giving permission for somebody to kill themselves. By you signing, you're actually killing that person.
Yes.
So
And that's
they
the
should
wrong.
be really fearing God, is more like it.
Yes, well, we come from a country that is founded on God. And so
That's walking away from God.
that's walking away from God and His commandments. Our organization, we are faith-based, but this fight, if we were to say it goes against God, then they say, oh, you're trying to push your religion on us. So in this strategy and in this fight, it's best not to bring that portion in.
Sure.
And there are many dangers that we can list to say, hey, look,
There's all
there's a great danger to this.
Yeah, there's just, I think what it is that they should find their faith in God, and as we say, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And that Jesus could give them the strength to get through what they need to get through.
Yes.
Give them
Yes.
that peace and that comfort. Now, also, you have the organization addresses, is it Christian rights, religious rights, or?
Well, the movement of the thinking, I can do what I want with my body. It's found with the abortion rights. It's my body, I can do what I want. Down to assisted suicide. It's my body, and I should have a right to do what I want.
Right, right. So I'm just trying to figure out the topics that your organization will address. So it'll address the abortion, it'll address the assisted suicide. For some
Yes.
reason, I felt that there was a third that you address. Okay.
Well, you said rights, the religious rights, did
Yeah,
you say?
right.
Actually, what we found with the abortion rights thinking is it is taking our rights away when they are telling people of faith and different religious.
Kim Davis, as we're talking, the court clerk, the
Well,
marriage clerk.
Well, that
Yeah.
one. Oh, yes. The third is marriage. Yes. We have recently, the personhood movement has recently taken under its wing protecting the marriage between one woman and one man. And why? Is because it is within that framework,
Right.
the child is best protected. So, yes, those rights.
Right.
Religious pastors, they are being threatened with those rights. But the other right is when you have religious organizations like the Catholic Church, their hospitals, they have their religious directives that now they must provide abortion.
Right. How about what I heard recently is the fact that the government is now trying to, the non-for-profit organizations or the ones that were faith-based, is
Yes.
now that they have to tell them, oh, by the way, you can get an abortion if you like, and they have to tell them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, what
right is
happened-
wrong and wrong is right these days. It's
Yes.
so bad, and how fast things are happening that people, are they not opening their eyes?
Well, the investigation against very conservative non-for-profit organizations, that they were targeted and denied.
right, right.
So,
Right.
but after that came out, I think things changed.
Right. Yeah. So it's just, it's unbelievable. And how is it that that if they wanted information, or do you have a website, or is
We
it?
have Personhood Education New York does have a website. It's personhoodeducationny.com, and there's Personhood New York, and that website is Personhood NYS for New York State .com.
Right.
So
And
we
then they
have-
can volunteer their services as well and get more involved.
Yes, they can go to those websites. They can send us a message, say they would like more information. We would love to have more volunteers. Personhood New York is able to set up chapters in the different counties, or an organization who is on board can form it through their organization. Soon we will be forming the next step of the organization, which is a CPAC, where we will support those candidates who are running for office. We can help support them if they are on board with personhood. Of course, they have to sign
Right.
their affirmation, but and then we make sure that they keep their word. Otherwise, we take away our support for them.
Right.
So it's a
Now-
package. It's a whole package: educational, legislative, which is Personhood New York, and then the CPAC.
Well, I hope that you would find some people who would want to volunteer their services and to learn more about this.
We do
because,
have them.
You know,
We do have
We need to
them.
have advocates. These babies can't speak for themselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
One of the things Personhood Education has is an educational program called the Pillars of Personhood. And it's a wonderful program that we go into the high schools and into colleges. We haven't started yet, but we're ready to move ahead.
Okay.
So we talk and we teach about what a person is.
If you could tell about the oratory contest that you're having, very,
Oratory
kind of fast.
contest? Yes. We had it last year. We had a winner
Okay.
who in New York State won the award, was a monetary award.
Sure.
But the next thing that they were able to do was go to the national level. We went to Cleveland, Ohio, where Bring America Back to Life convention is held. It's a two-day convention, and they compete against the other states for the personhood
Right.
contest.
And they'll learn that on the website.
They can learn about that on the website, and then and the winner will do their presentation to everyone who is there at that convention.
Right, that's great. And so that's the conference you're talking about, that's in February 2016?
2016, it might be March
Okay.
this year, yes. New York is working on a conference
year,
for February. We're thinking it's February, but we have to,
Right. March passed already, so you mean next year, you're thinking?
2016, March.
2016.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, you have something saying, where are you now? And in fact of where are you going? Something to do with CPAC? Is that the conference that you're talking about?
We are working on a conference. New York, Personhood New York is working on a conference, and we're thinking February 2016. So keep coming to our website for that information.
Right. How many people do you have right now, like that are involved in New York?
Well, we had a conference last year, 2014, and we had close to 100 people
Okay.
attend.
Okay.
So we have those people who are interested.
How you getting the message out? Do you have social media, on your social media?
We have Twitter, we have our website, we have our blast emails that go out. We have about 500 people on those email lists.
So what's your Twitter handle?
Right now, I haven't looked at the number recently.
No. What I mean is, like, what's a name that they would, if they wanted to go to follow you on Twitter?
At Personhood NY, that's the Personhood New York, and for Personhood Education, I can't remember, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. They might be able to get it over there.
Yes.
And do you have a Facebook as well?
And we have Facebook.
And
we
they will look under.
Personhood New York,
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay.
If you Google Personhood New York, I think my Facebook page comes up first.
Okay, my thought is the fact that you have such legal or technical documents that you have to really understand. So you have a lot of lawyers?
We have. Okay, so to get started, we needed an attorney to draw up our bylaws. So I couldn't find one. I found pro-life attorneys in New York, but they didn't want to get on board with personhood because it's going against what the norm is right now. We take the stand, no exceptions. But American Life League with Judy Brown, her organization said, okay, go to Thomas More Society. So I called Tom Breca, who's the founder of Thomas More Society in Chicago. I told him what I'm trying to do, and he said, yes, I will help you. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to have to, get the money, and we'll move ahead. And he says, not only will I help you set it up, I will pay for the attorney's fees. So Personhood Education New York was set up by Thomas Breca. He appointed an attorney for us, and he has been so helpful. So thank you, Thomas Breca.
You know, the way I look at it is when it's God's will.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and it's His ministry.
Yes.
He provides the way. I mean,
Yes.
if I could, the stories I could tell you with Inspired Blessings, where people say, I'm going to help you for free.
Yes.
Okay, because I believe that this is from God.
Yes.
So it's just amazing.
That's the thing.
It is amazing what God has done. And now, what is this 40, the film?
Okay, so we are in the planning stage, and I need a committee, so if anybody is interested, please contact me through our educational Personhood Education New York. The 40 film, we are working together with the executive director, John Morales, not director, executive producer. He is an actor, and he produced this film. And the film is about 40 is taken from 40 years. Roe v. Wade has been legal for 40 years. And what do we know today that we didn't know back then? And what we didn't know is that women who have had abortion and then they realize what they have done when they get married and they have babies and they realize, my God, what have I done? And they regret their abortion, and then they live with that for the rest of their life.
Right.
Every time they look at their beautiful child and they say, what have I done? So that's what the movie is. And
I'll be interviewing, like I was just mentioned before, I'll be interviewing 2 people that actually will be talking about the fact that they had an abortion and how it affected their life after.
Great, yes. That word has got to get out. The youth today who don't realize Yes.
Yes, no, definitely. And like I said, I mentioned that I'm going to be playing that song right now and showing Emmy Pellegrino will be singing for I'm Not Even Born.
Yes.
Please let me live, don't let me die. If you know God, then do His will. Give me a chance to breathe the air that my Father in heaven has given me. Let me see the splendor of all the beautiful things that were created for me to see. Let my soul long for God, and let the Spirit of God come alive inside of me right now. I do not know right from wrong, for I am not even born. Please let me live, don't let me die. If you know God, then do His will. You are ending my life and doing wrong, taking my life away from me. If you're unable to raise me, then give me out to a loving home where parents are praying for me. Don't disobey your Father's word. I will feel His presence, and God will do His will within me. Please let me live, don't let me die. If you know God, then do His will. Please let me live, don't let me die. If you know God, then do His will. Let me live, don't let me die.
I want to thank you so much for being my guest. And is there anything else that you wanted to add that I didn't ask?
Let's see.
Very fast. Mhm.
Just the next thing. No. If there are anybody who is in a high school or a college, please look at our website. We would love to contact me,
Okay.
and we will get our program on your campus. We have, it's four-sided of these large banners,
Right.
and we teach what a person is, and it's very effective.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Dawn,
Yes.
and what you're doing.
And sign our petition.
And also to sign the petition, if you go onto the website as well, about stopping the assisted suicide. That I do speaking engagements. God has opened doors for me now that I've been going to different organizations and churches throughout Long Island. Would love to come to your organization or church as well to share my testimony. And it's been very inspiring for people as they would come up to me and tell me. If you like my Inspired Blessings Facebook page, so you can follow all the different interviews and all the different things that God is blessing me with Inspired Blessings. So I want to thank you again for joining us today. Keep Inspired Blessings within arm's reach to help you give you comfort when others are at a loss for words. Thank you and God bless. www.jeanmarieprince.com